Hello everyone, it's PotatoNurse here. I hope you're keeping very well. Another new installment of the best builds for killer series. These are going to be the perks and add-ons that I deem sort of the best for the killer and what you should work your way towards. Of course, there are much better combinations for certain killers, especially for Nurse here. But this build that I'm going to be showing you today is all about what's good for a really confident Nurse player and how great this build can be once you've mastered your blinks. We'll also go through some tips on how you can actually get to that point. So let's get straight into talking about the Nurse's perks here that I'm bringing today. I'm bringing Hex Plaything as my first perk. This makes it so that whenever you hook a survivor until they cleanse a totem which is assigned to them for 90 seconds and nobody else can cleanse it, they are oblivious, which means that they cannot sense your terror radius. This is insanely powerful for a killer like Nurse because you can blink through walls, and to them you literally come out of nowhere. So if they decide not to cleanse this, they are really going to regret it, especially with the other perks that I have in my arsenal. All of these perks synergize well together, and I'll explain why at the end, but let's just talk about the perks first. The next perk I have is Haunted Grounds. So whenever you cleanse this totem, and it'll be 2 totems on the map that turn into Haunted, they've only got to cleanse one of them, and they'll be exposed for 60 seconds. This is extremely scary against a Nurse because she is the best anti-looper, the best chaser in the game. So really don't want to be being chased by a Nurse when Haunted is active. I'm bringing Barbecue and Chili. This is one of my favorite aura reading perks for any fast mobility killer because you can travel back and forth in the map, kind of like how I explained in the Billy guide if you haven't watched that already. But in a sense, I prefer this over perks like Thrilling Tremors for fast killers like Nurse, because if they're not on a generator you won't know where to blink, but at least with this you know which direction to head to. And of course you also get some juicy blood points as well, which is really nice. And now the last hex that brings all of the hexes together is Hex Retribution. If a survivor cleanses any dull totem, they will also suffer the oblivious status effect, but if any hex is cleansed you will see the survivor's auras for 10 seconds. This is why Plaything works so well with Hex Retribution, because you're forcing the survivors to have to cleanse a Hex totem, and when they do, they'll be making the huge mistake of revealing their auras to everybody on the map against the Nurse. You'll see how much value I get out of this Hex in both games, and especially with Haunted, because they may accidentally cleanse Haunted looking for their Hex Plaything. I know you can see the auras of your Hex Plaything. Inexperienced survivors or survivors that just happen to see their totem out in the open and not behind a wall won't see it as an aura read, so they'll just assume it's their Hex Plaything, but when in reality it's actually their Haunted Grounds. So these combinations of perks are really powerful, especially against a really good Nurse player. The reason there's no slowdown is because this is full-on aggressive Nerf style. Don't be afraid to slug. Don't be afraid to go after multiple people. You have to be really confident with your blinks to pull this build off. But once you get to that point, I guarantee you're going to get consistent wins with this scary build. You could be more risky and change Haunted Grounds for Devour Hope if you wanted, but I would stick with Haunted because when it's cleansed it actually benefits you, whereas if Devour's cleansed it screws you over. So bear that in mind. Probably the best build in general for Nurse, if we're talking about the best slowdown and the biggest strength for her, if you're really going for wins and you're not that confident, change this build to something like Corrupt Intervention, bring Tinkerer, bring Ruin and Undying. Those 4 perks, you know, the common meta perks. Tinker is really powerful on her, Ruin Undying is insanely good, and Corrupt buys you that time at the start. But I'd highly recommend the build that I just suggested, because it will pay off in the long run. Now let's get into her add-ons. Nurse is not really add-on dependent, but she has some great add-ons that help reduce her cooldown in fatigue and in her blink. So me, not a very confident Nurse player, I am going to be bringing the Acidic Respiration, which moderately decreases my blink fatigue duration. So whenever I blink and I go into fatigue, it'll be a lot shorter, allow me a lot quicker time to get into blinking again. I'll be bringing the fragile wheeze as well, which really increases my recharge speed as well. So I'm constantly able to blink really well, and this just allows me to make more mistakes because it gives me that bigger window of recovery. So these are my two favorite add-ons. Of course, she has other add-ons as well. Right, so I wouldn't bring the additional blink charge because you can't actually blink through walls. You can only blink through areas that you can actually see, but you gain an additional blink. This could be good on really outdoor maps, but the second you're on an indoor map with this add-on, you're basically done for. Try to avoid this unless you're just going for a meme or having fun. The matchbox as well, again, is something you shouldn't bring unless you're bringing like a meme build, like Play With Your Food, Bamboozle, because this just increases your base speed to 4.2, and it also removes a blink, so I wouldn't recommend bringing this. Campbell's Last Breath, which allows you to blink at half charge in the direction you're currently facing. It's sort of like an aid to help you with your second blink. I wouldn't really bring this. I'd try and practice your blinks on your own. It's not going to give you much value. Practice blinks with your double blinks by yourself because you have a lot more control. The Generous Last Breath, it allows you to blink back to the original position you were at. So this can be good if you've got two people on a gen. You hit one, they run away, you blink, hit them, and then you blink immediately back to where you were at the gen, and you see someone working on that gen, and you can hit them again. This is a very techie move, and it's not something I'd recommend for inexperienced nurse players. But it'd be fun to pull off because she has a lot of fun add-ons. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. We'll just call it Last Breath. Massively increases your blink range, but increases the charge time as well. This can be insanely good for map pressure. Could be really good with this build actually in particular. The reason I'm not bringing it is because I just want to bring faster fatigue add-ons. I'll be a bit more aggressive with shorter blink range rather than blinking miles away, but this can be really good as well. This massively increases your distance. Just bear in mind that when you're sort of blinking full in this, it's going to be a lot longer than if you're blinking in full without it. So it's going to take some practice for you to get used to the difference of not having this on. Do not practice nurse with this add-on on. You really don't want your muscle memory to be relying on it, because the second you take it off, you're going to feel really weird with your blinks. So learn nurse preferably without add-ons first, and then start having fun with add-ons like this. Again, you've got the heavy panting that does the exact same thing as the Last Breath, so you can bring that as well. So you got the breath add-on here. I'm not even going to attempt to say the first part of the add-on name, but this allows you to walk at normal speed whenever you hit a survivor. I wouldn't recommend this at all, especially for this build, but if you're bringing like a Spirit Fury Enduring build, then maybe this might be fun for you to use. Again, it's a fun gimmicky add-on like Torn Bookmark and Matchbox. Again, you've got the yellow add-ons that just reduce fatigue time that are really good and increase charge speed as well. One more thing I want to mention about the add-ons is if you bring the Plaid Flannel, it will allow you to see where you're blinking. So if you've ever played Pinhead, you can actually see where his power is going to be. It's exactly the same sort of mechanic with Nurse. You see a little blob and it tells you exactly where you're going to blink. So I used this when I was first using Nurse. Play at least 10 games with it and then play the next 10 games without it. And if you feel like you still need to use it, then play another 10 games with it, and then keep repeating that process until you don't need it anymore. It will take you a lot of games to get used to this, and do not be afraid of indoor maps. Nurse can actually be very powerful on indoor maps. It will help you a lot with predicting with where survivors are going to go. So that's it with the power and add-ons. In game, I give a few tips on how to blink. I'll be showing you 2 games today. The first game, we got insane value out of our retribution. Unfortunately, we didn't get much value out of our haunted grounds. But in the second game, we get insane value out of haunted grounds and retribution, where we absolutely dominate the team, and you'll see how powerful this build can be when used correctly by a nurse player who knows roughly what they're doing. I'm not a crack nurse, but I know roughly what I'm doing. So guys, of course, if you found this useful in any way, please make sure you go to that comment section and let me know what you liked about the video, and leave a like on the video as well. And if you want to catch these moments live on Twitch, you've got to go to that description, click on that follow button, and you'll get a notification of when I'm live, because I'm still recording this series for every single killer in the game. Alright guys, I've rambled on for way too long. I'll see you in the nurse games. Take care. Peace out. Mode on. It's to stop stream sniping. Nice. I'm gonna guess they spawned over here. Yes, the clicky clicky Oni video was spicy. They're not in the building. I'm gonna guess they're over here. They either crouched by the gen or they've let go. Jesus Christ, I don't know where they are. Oh. Good blink. Did she vault? He did. Okay, good stuff. Need to get a hook quick. I need to be in chase with someone else just in case haunted procs. You're welcome, Zero. Over there on that side. He's crouched behind that car. He's like here, isn't he? Oh, you ran at me. Good job. I love spooky memes too. That's haunted, dang. Good spins though, dude. Oh, Jesus. He messed up there. He done a rip. This guy's really good. He's like running forward, not looking behind, and then he immediately turns. I get another haunted value here. If I was them, I'd just hide for the next 15 seconds. Damn, they're playing so good. I don't know where they are. They're still here. They all run at me. I gotta bear that in mind when I blink. Retribution value there, really, really nice. Good stuff. This is why Hex Plaything comes in so handy. Thank you, Infinity Dreamer. Welcome in. Hope you're doing good. Sorry, guys. When I play Nurse, I'm kind of quiet. He's sort of walking to the right, and someone is on that far gen. Chompo, thank you for the follow, buddy. This guy, man, he turns so last second. Alright, we'll half blink at him and see if that works. Bit too far. I'll hook him. I'll try and kick that gen. This is going to be tough because they are doing the gens really fast. If this build doesn't work, we might need to bring some slowdown. They're all healing over there. Right, okay. I'm making too many mistakes with my blinks, that's the problem. We should have caught him sooner with Haunted. We would have had a much more bigger difference, and I didn't really look around hard enough. I know that some survivors are running around the back here. Let me just make sure that they aren't. Yeah, I had a feeling they would. Nice, she made a mistake there. This is why retribution is coming in such handy. Damn, good job saving him last second. Nice. Quickly hit Kate. That gen's regressed nicely, good stuff. We're getting such great value out of Retri here. Things every time they cleanse their oblivious stats effect, they're actually hurting themselves more. That David is... Ooh, I should have probably tried to push that, but I messed up the blink. Him dying on hook now would have been perfect. She is really hard to play, yeah. These survivors got a habit of running back, so I'm just sort of like half blinking there to avoid that. No need to blink. Someone else is here, though. He's here. Good, dead hard. Where did he go? Good job running around the tire. I messed that up badly. I shouldn't have panicked there. Let's hook her quickly where David is. And if someone tries to quickly get David, we should hopefully be able to down them too. David's dead on hook. We've got all the pressure in the world now. Good, double back. Alright, blinked outside just in case. Let's find David. Never mind. GG guys, well played. You've got to play Nurse very aggressive. This is what this build is all about. Information and being really aggressive. Every time they cleanse Plaything, I find them. Haunted allows us some insta-downs. I didn't get great value out of it, but I still done okay with it. GG's, well played. That was a really good game. You go, Rain, thank you for the follow. You could probably get away with Devourer. It's a bit more risky. It's a good build. In exchange for relieving yourself from being, like, oblivious, you have to reveal your entire team. It's quite the risk, isn't it? Made look Nurse look easy? No, I made a lot of mistakes that game. Just bring anti-gen rush perks like Corrupt, Ruin Undying, Discordance, Pop. You need to bring perks to slow down the gens. Tinker could be good. Deathlock, Deadlock. Well played though. Our perks really sort of synergized well there, and that's when we made a good comeback there. Tinker on Nurse is crazy good. Cannot recommend it enough. Really good. A brand new pot as well. Good healing perks with a good exhaustion perk, adrenaline. Yeah, they got good perks in their arsenal. GG's were good. Okay. For madness, then for information. Good luck, guys. Hard map 2. Let's see how we do. Yes, we are doing a build series where we go through every killer in the game and we go through some good builds that I recommend that you guys should try out. That's the whole point of the series. This is going to be hard because there's a lot of corners here, so I'm going to try and play nurse as if I blink to the end of the corridor and then make a last minute judgment call. No signs of life yet. Another tip is don't do what I just did there and 99 a blink. You should always go to 2, then blink. No matter what you do, always try and go to 2. Get in the habit of doing that. I'm not gonna bother. I won't make it with my second blink. Oh, good use of sprint burst. I thought she'd camp the pallet, but that was a good mind game on her part. I was trying to blink through there, I messed up. The reason I blinked there is because I didn't want to get into the pallet. It doesn't really matter, I'm a nurse. I thought she'd double back. This is going to be tough. You can, the add-on just decrease my fatigue time and someone's here. She done really well there. Messed up. Doesn't matter, I got the hit. Good turn. Good stuff. Woo! If we get 2 downs there, that's great pressure for us. Hello, Jules. Where did I down the other girl? Pretty bad that I don't remember. It was around here. Hey, Sloth. Kind of bad that I can't find her. It was Hex Switch. That was literally bang on. Haunted. Holy crap, man. Haunted rang out the second I got her. Good stuff. Let's try and get her in that basement. Swap, thank you for the follow, buddy. What all it took was one Haunted being cleansed and we made an insane comeback. This build is nuts. Let's pop this. I think these two might try and heal themselves somewhere. I think, did she die? She gave up, or she tried to Kobe because... Another retreat haunt value. Where is she? Where is she? Where is she? She claimed a retribution there. I know you're here. GG. Thank you, Pickles KH. I appreciate that. He tried to Kobe because he didn't think his team would be able to get him. I don't think that was idiotic. Well played, guys. GG. Wizzy, thank you for the follow. They were doing so well to start with. Good chases from them at the start. Like, they knew how to counter nurse on this map. It was retribution that saved us again. When you can see their auras, it makes it 1,000 times easier to blink through the walls and catch them, especially with Haunted. It's disgustingly good. And my focus burn now. Hey, Undead Meme, how are you? I think that really showcases how well this build can be done. GG's, not good. The Dog Whisperer. I love that show. It's really, really good. I love Caesar. What are we going against here? An adrenaline, 2 adrenalines, couple self-cares. Ah, small game. That was actually not in their favor. That was in my favor. This build is basically, please cleanse me, please cleanse me, and we got such great value out of Retribution those 2 games. Even if we didn't get much value out of Haunted the first game, we got insane value out of Retribution the second game, for sure, with Haunted. So that was really, really nice.